space isn't vacant. Walk a lonely path, treading on the road to greatness. People come and go, but the darkness always stays here. Scared to face the facts, we all fall. Nothing's changed here. Nothing's changed here. Nothing's changed here. We all fall, face the facts. Nothing's changed here.
Now you will suffer.
Considering the huge amounts of all that happened in the first 2 episodes, filling a 1 minute and 30-second recap is actually quite impressive.
Look, this show ain't perfect, but saying that nothing happened in the first 2 episodes is very disingenuous. Also, Discount Jeremy hates previously on segments cliche.
Running between a giant polar sloth's legs without consent.
Making stupid jokes that nobody is going to laugh at without consent.
Creating your vanity intro to only include helmets or droids, which means you end up including an MSE-6 repair droid instead of a Han Solo.
Everything wrong with Kenobi Episode 3, ladies and gentlemen. The intro doesn't include Han Solo.
This Darth Vader gets dressed while Obi-Wan prays to the cameo voices on high segment goes on for all the some time.
Discount Jeremy has the attention span of a toddler with ADHD cliche.
Wait, I'm confused. Everything we've seen before shows the helmet and faceplate as 2 distinct parts that need to be placed on in order. The faceplate hinges on the mouthpiece, and then the helmet seals it all into the compression chamber.
What the hell are you talking about? The faceplate and backing of the helmet have always been shown together when being attached to the rest of the suit. How about this scene from Empire Strikes Back? Discount Jeremy is straight up lying to us.
Look, edging is great, or so I've been told, but there comes a point when heavy breathing alone loses its impact, and you just need to release the red stick of doom.
That was one of the cringiest jokes I've ever heard them say, especially considering the fact that they're sending the iconic breathing sound effect of Darth motherfucking Vader.
Modeling your evil lair after Mordor, Middle-earth.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
I have been watching you, third sister.
It's so great to have James Earl Jones back for this. Hang on, I need to adjust a few things here. Okay. It's so great to have the digitally recreated and disembodied voice harnessed outside of its original owner with no human performance and ruthlessly mined to generate dollars for a soulless corporation back for this.
So the premise of this sin is that the showrunners used a digital recreation of James Earl Jones' voice for Darth Vader, but I'm confused as to why that's a sin. It sounds fucking badass.
Are we almost there?
Kid asks an adult, are we there yet in a transportation situation? Cliche.
That's not a cliche, my guy.
Can't you use the force on it or something?
That's not how it works.
I mean, it could though, right? If I know one thing about Star Wars, the Force can be used to do the exact things the story needs it to, but then also won't do the exact things the story needs it not to.
If a TV show with a fictional power tells you that the power can't do something, then the power can't do that thing. We're in a fictional universe where literally everything is made up.
Have you ever been afraid of the dark? How does it feel when you turn on the light?
I feel safe.
Comparing the mystical galactic weave that provides superpowers to both good and evil to a nightlight.
Pointing things out on the screen. Also, Discount Jeremy has apparently never heard of analogies.
Lola!
She was a show droid with red accents on her flair and 7 lives or so to spare.
Discount Jeremy tries to sing in a video cliche.
You hear that sound? It's as if millions of zippers simultaneously unzipped in ecstasy because yet another Star Wars spaceship takeoff or landing has been shown in its mind-meltingly slow entirety.
A few things here. First, why are you sending a science fiction franchise for showing a spaceship landing? That's a staple of science fiction and it's always been cool to see. Second, watching Star Wars ships take off and land has always been really awesome because it looks so good, so I don't know why you're complaining. And finally, this clip doesn't even last for a full minute, but they're still saying that it takes forever, and this is exactly why I constantly sin them for having zero attention span.
Phew. We traded the sand deserts of Tatooine for something completely different. A dusty desert.
What do you want from them, Aaron? The Star Wars franchise has shown us a ton of variety in planets throughout the movies and shows. There really isn't a whole lot of new terrain they can cover. This complaint is nothing short of stupid and pointless.
What is this place?
Mapuzo. It's a mining system.
Writing dialogue into your show for the sole purpose of Wikipedia.
Or maybe this dialogue is meant for the audience so that we can know where we are right now.
Look at all this headroom. This is a ton of wasted space. Why are there so many stormtroopers just aimlessly patrolling?
This sin is really weird. He starts out by complaining about the high ceiling, which is stupid because that's simply a sign of wealth and decadence, and then he randomly asks about the stormtrooper patrols, which has nothing to do with the first part of the sin.
He could be anywhere. I traced the manifest.
Oh, you traced the manifest, did you? Cool. So should I send this for such a generic tactic explanation, or send it for Obi-Wan being able to be followed because of such a generic tactic explanation?
How about neither? I mean, seriously, what did you want from them? Reva took action to find Obi-Wan and Leia in a way that actually makes sense. What's the issue with that?
And when the sea metronome is fully mature, it will spread its seed to the other planets so that a new generation of aquatic melodic timing devices can populate the galaxy.
This whole sin is not funny and it's just super cringy. Also, he's yet again complaining about a science fiction show spending a small amount of time on its science fiction visuals, which is still just as dumb as it was before.
Maybe they're just late?
Maybe it was a lie. I knew it. I never should have trusted him.
We don't know if maybe...
No one is coming here, Leia.
Man, Obi-Wan sure did turn into a condescending, cynical prick over the last 10 years, didn't he? He reprimands Leia's optimism so quickly and forcefully here that he might as well have threatened her with a timeout if she dared say anything else even the slightest bit hopeful.
This sin is absolutely priceless. He's complaining about Obi-Wan not being hopeful. Did he not watch Revenge of the Sith? Is he unaware of the events that led up to him being exiled? Why the hell are you expecting Obi-Wan to be a super hopeful and optimistic character?
Also, as shown at the end of the episode, Obi-Wan gives up way too quickly on this meeting. I mean, it's not like they had a set time of departure from Space Vegas or a set arrival time on slightly greener Tatooine, so how does anyone know when the actual meeting time is supposed to be? And if it's a trap, wouldn't they have been caught as soon as they turned up?
You're sinning Obi-Wan for giving up on the meeting spot too quickly, but that's kind of the point. He's become a very cynical and pessimistic person as a result of the trauma in his life. It actually makes sense for his character. Also, you said that if it was a trap, they would have already been caught, but that's not necessarily true. A trap on a desert planet could simply be stranding Obi-Wan and Leia in the middle of the desert without sufficient supplies in order to dehydrate and starve them to death.
What are you doing out here?
That's a long story.
It's a long way.
The Stormtrooper version of A Long Way is apparently a 1 minute and 15-second journey.
Jesus Christ, he can't really be this stupid. They weren't referring to this journey. They were referring to the distance between the fake home Obi-Wan told them and the place where Freck found them.
They know what they're doing, Leia.
I can sort of go with Obi-Wan has lost touch with the Force, or Obi-Wan is getting older and his skills are diminishing. But I'm not sure I can get on board with Obi-Wan in a moment of crucial conversation when he should be on high alert, calls his undercover daughter by her actual name, as if he's some third-rate criminal in an episode of NCIS.
You're acting as if Obi-Wan should never make mistakes. He's just a human, dude. He had a little Freudian slip. That's perfectly understandable.
Are you my real father?
I wish I could say I was.
Weird time to tell Leia he regrets missing the opportunity to bang her mom, but okay.
I mean, we are talking about Natalie Portman here, so can you really blame him?
I remember a baby.
A baby?
Yes, I think I had a brother.
Coming soon to a Disney Plus near you.
Skip?
Couple of strays I found. Thought you might want to check them out.
No! Not Freck! Betrayed by the only one!
Didn't I just say skip? Come on, guys, I mean what I say. Skip.
Initiate Protocol 23.
No, not Protocol 23!
Jesus Christ, that's 3 times in a row. Fucking skip.
Surely shooting the control panel only works if the control panel is also the power source for the barrier.
Nope, the control panel is obviously connected to the power source, meaning that shooting it will short-circuit the gate.
Out of the way.
He says to the person who is no longer in the way so the audience will know he's a dick. You know, in case the fact that he's a stormtrooper didn't tip you off to that possibility.
Didn't you just say that a stormtrooper being a dick is a possibility, meaning that it's not going to be the case every time? Therefore, showing us that he's a dick makes sense, right?
Droid maintenance. It's all automated. No one ever comes in here.
Which means that when anyone sees you go in there, it's probably suspicious, no? Next time pick a hideout where you won't be found out just by walking through the front door, maybe?
You're running under the assumption that everyone knows this is the droid maintenance building. The citizens most likely have no clue what the building is, and they obviously never go in there because they don't need to, so it really wouldn't be very suspicious.
He's just a loader. They don't allow them to communicate.
But what if he has something to say?
Actions speak louder than words.
So that would be communicating, then.
When she said he's not allowed to communicate, she obviously meant he can't talk. Stop purposefully misunderstanding things to force sins.
Quinlan was here.
Quinlan, you say, as if I'm supposed to have watched every single Star Wars thing and know that name and be very excited.
This is one of those sins where the TVSins writers complain about a cinematic universe being a cinematic universe with a ton of different shows and movies. If you don't want to keep up with them, you don't have to. But if you don't, then you don't have the right to complain about not understanding something.
Question, why are the Jedi writing their names on the wall? Like some sort of Jedi database in case his room is ever discovered?
They're presumably writing their names on the wall as a means of telling other Jedi who come through which ones are still alive. It's an underground method of communication that wouldn't necessarily mean anything to the Empire if they found it.
What does it say?
Only when the eyes are closed can you truly see.
That's actually only the first line. I've read this one on a bathroom stall before.
Skip.
Someone must have seen us. We're moving up the timeline.
Wait, if that was always an option, why wasn't it always the plan?
Did you not hear her say that they're moving up the timeline? That obviously means it's not ideal to leave sooner, but it's technically possible. They didn't want to leave earlier because they wanted more time to prepare, but they have to cut their preparation time short in order to leave now.
Ben? What is it?
He's sensing Darth Anakin, that's what. Because anytime the story needs it, Force users can sense another important Force user around them. But sometimes when it wouldn't make sense, they just completely miss it. Like, for instance, when you're within a few feet of your own Force-sensitive daughter.
Oh boy, the Force doesn't just work idly. Jedi and Sith have to actively reach out and use the Force in order to sense people. Obi-Wan is currently reaching out to the Force in order to detect Darth Vader, and Vader is also reaching out to detect Obi-Wan. The reason Vader can't sense Leia is because she would be no different to him than any random civilian, seeing as he isn't aware of her existence yet.
Dude, Vader just Force-snapped a kid's neck for defending his father. I'm super glad this whole saga is about the redemption of this guy.
Wow, you really don't understand anything, do you? Vader's redemption is not for the purpose of totally washing away his evil. It's simply showing that he still has some good left in him that allows him to bring balance to the Force. The Star Wars franchise is not trying to say that one good act washes out all the bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure they're saving the epic battle for the end of the episode. I just hope that it doesn't end up being episode 4 in New Hope.
Oh, well, you're in luck then, because the epic battle actually takes place in the season finale. It's a good thing you didn't add a sin there. Wait, he did add a sin, didn't he?
What have you become?
Mostly a villainous trump card for Disney to pull out every time they need to goose their IP interest a bit, if we're being honest.
It's really a shame that you didn't remove a sin for Vader's response to that. It's just perfect for both of these characters in showing that Obi-Wan is partially to blame for Anakin's fall to the dark side.
The thing is on wheels, Reva. There'll be plenty of opportunities to show your powers. You don't have to force it now.
Pointless nitpicking is pointless.
Keep running till you reach the port. A pilot will meet you there.
She leaves the 10-year-old princess alone.
Yes, because she wants to save Obi-Wan, and the show has made the point that Leia is mature for her age.
I know Vader's toying with an out-of-practice Obi-Wan, but I've seen more captivating lightsaber battles at the local swimming pool with foam water noodles.
How is it possible for you to say the reason why the sin you're about to give isn't actually a sin, but then you still add the sin? What the fuck?
Now you will suffer, Obi-Wan.
Anakin and Obi-Wan set each other on fire in episode 3 of a Star Wars property. Cliché.
That's one of the most egregious misuses of the word cliché that I've ever heard.
Also, Obi-Wan survives this without needing a life support suit or needing to be voiced by James Earl Jones.
Yes, because he was only burned on one small section of his body. Do you think that getting a third-degree burn will automatically kill you?